Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Bonkekook here, aka your Lonely Achievement Guide, continuing our 1000G Achievement Guide / walkthrough for Lawn Mowing Simulator. We have moved on to Expert Challenge number 5. This was the last challenge I completed on my first run. It requires you to be very precise. You don't have a lot of room for error. As you can see, we only have a 5 pound or whatever currency it is limit for our fines. You can't hit any trees, you can't collide with very many things, and you only have 25 minutes to cut this lawn. It was the last challenge I needed. I didn't consider it all that difficult. You just have to be perfect for about 25 minutes. So don't be ashamed if you have to run this one a couple of times. This one took me 6 or 7 runs before I was able to get it. So I'm going to go ahead on my first account. We're going to go ahead and see if we can't record ourselves getting it on the video guide here. So we are using one of the better Toro motors, but this challenge is a bit of a challenge, as it were. So we're going to go... I think we need, between 4 and 5. To start, you want to do this. Come around the hedge here, and you are just going to turn around the outside, and when you get to each subsequent hedge, back out and come around and just spin around and get these flowers. And that's kind of how you're going to make the outline for each of these sections. You don't have to worry too much about overloading your engine, but be very careful. When you get to each hedge, just jump off the lawn to the left and turn back, and then that will allow you to basically cut off the hedges, and now you can work your way around like we have been towards the center. Just be cautious about overloading your engine. As with all of these expert challenges, in the bottom left hand corner we have a penalties and fines line that if it overloads we will immediately fail, and we have that red line on the engine condition line that if our condition falls below that red line, we will also automatically fail. But this one is very this one can be tough. We're gonna go ahead and cut this first flower garden. Again, you got to be very careful and precise. You don't have to worry about the grass clippings too much. That's going to happen no matter what you are doing. But hitting flowers is bad. Don't hit flowers. Don't wake Daddy. As you can see, we've only hit 1 flower, and we did actually get fined for leaving some grass clippings. Don't worry about that too much, but you can only afford to hit like 4 flowers before you fail. So what you need to do with this level is kind of figure out where the next patch of grass you're heading is, and leave the grass over in that direction for to finish off your area, because you need to maximize your time spent mowing. You can't have a lot of time where you're driving across a lawn without cutting grass. You don't have a lot of excess time available, but you also need to be precise, because you don't have a lot of time at the end to go back and fix any mistakes. So you do have a 0-turn motor or mower here, which is highly useful. And again, just do your best to keep your speed up without overloading your mower. We're making decent time. We got 25 minute time limit, and we're at 20%. So if we were a fifth of the way through, we would be at 20 minutes. So we're making good time. Not great, but good. I believe you do have to get to 99.9% of the grass cut on this, so you do have to be very cautious and careful with your cutting. As I had said before, we are doing our best to work towards the next lawn area that we're going to cut over that direction. That's why you saw me cut off there instead of continuing. We're just going to do the same thing on the next one. Drive around. We're going to jump off to the left when we get over here so that we can edge around the hedge and avoid killing any of the flowers. Don't worry about running into the hedges. That doesn't give you a lot of damage. Worry about the flowers. The flowers are going to be what cause you trouble. So. We're going to cut this, or edge this flower bed here. When you get to the corners, don't be afraid to go a little bit further and then just back up, giving yourself a little extra room so you can make the corner a little bit tighter. We're going to work on this one. Again, you just kind of have to use the mower a little bit and get used to it so you understand what you can get away with as far as how close the edges of the mower can get before you damage a flower. As I said, I did this challenge multiple times on my original account trying to get all of these challenges done, and there were a couple of times that I failed with literal seconds left. So just like before, we're going to work on cutting the grass that is farthest away and work our way towards the next area of grass to cut, so we're not wasting any time. We're actually going to make a little bit of a circle here. just make sure that when you're using the zero-turn mower, you understand where you're cutting. So you're not, you know, thinking that the mower, it's not quite at the front of the mower, so you need to get like where you're sitting over top of the grass in order to cut it. Grass clippings, again, aren't worth worrying about. It is flowers primarily that will end your run if you aren't careful. We are almost to 50% of the grass cut, and we are only 10 minutes in, so we're doing pretty good for time. It's more at this point about being thorough and making sure that we've cut as much of the grass as we can, so we don't have to backtrack. Backtracking on this level is incredibly frustrating. So try to be quick, but also try to be thorough and, you know, try to be perfect. Once again, we'll finish up mowing on the edge closest to the next patch of grass, and we'll repeat the process. I recommend trying to do the mowing the same way I have, where you take care of the flower portion of the center portion with the flowers right away when you get over. That way, if you screw up really badly, you know right away and can restart if you need to. Because those central flower areas are probably the most difficult areas to mow. So. Right over here to our left. Those are probably the most difficult portions to edge, so I recommend taking care of them right off the bat when you get to the new section. That way you're not wasting time. We're going to go ahead and edge this as best we can. And if you've kept up with my pace so far, you have plenty of time. Your goal right now should be be as precise as possible with mowing now. You need to make sure you're not leaving any little groups of grass behind that could interfere with your 99.9% cut at the end, because that's, other than avoiding flowers from this point on, you need to make sure that you are getting as much of the grass cut as possible, because 99.9% on this level doesn't leave a lot of grass. So if you are missing something at 99.8%, it's very difficult to find what you're missing. You do have the Pro View, I believe. Yes. As you can see, when we used it, we didn't have a whole lot that lit up, so we're probably doing pretty good. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish off this last flower garden. We did hit another flower, so we have like 2 more we could hit and still be okay, I think. But don't push your luck. That one was a little bit easier to cut anyways. As you can see, we still have 8 minutes. We are making excellent time, and we are on to the last section here. So just like all the others, deal with this inside portion first. Avoid the flowers, get around the hedges, and once we finish, if we've done a good enough job, we will be right next to the ramp. For a quick and easy escape. I'm gonna go ahead and take out this hedge here. Flower garden, excuse me. Edge this flower garden. Again, just do your best to be careful. We only have a limited amount of flowers that we can get away with cutting, so you have time at this point, so don't be afraid to take it slow. We're gonna get this edged. We only have this one flower garden left, so we're going to take out that, and then we should be good to go. Oh, there's one more. Never mind. This one must have had 4. I apologize for the early celebration. We'll go take care of that one too while we're over here. Just be very cautious with the flowers again. You have plenty of time at this point, so if you're following along and are about the same place as I am. Now, that's it. All of the edging is done. It's just a matter of making sure you don't go too fast and overload your engine. Okay, now we just need to be hopeful that we got enough that these last couple of percentage points will go all the way up. And there we go, ladies and gents, with 2 minutes left. We completed it. This mower does slow down if you stop the blades, so I don't recommend turning off the blades until you get back to the trailer, and you can just drive on up and finish the challenge. That's expert challenge number 5 complete. That was one of the more frustrating ones for me. Not so much because it's difficult, it just required a lot of precision. And if you don't cut those flower gardens well enough, or edge them well enough, you wind up being at like 99.8%, and that was very frustrating. So, if you have any questions or comments for me, as always, let me know down below, but if not, I will see you when we attempt Expert Challenge number 6. If I ever end the video. There we go.